You like mechs, cute anime girls, especially when you can date them, kinda. Those two things often go hand in hand with many visual novels such as Muffluf or Muramasa, but when it comes to games that offer actual gameplay, then there's not that much to choose from. Love and Destroy is a Japan exclusive PlayStation 1 game without a fan's translation yet, but it's completely playable without even understanding a single bit of Japanese since it's an extremely straightforward game with its story and the menus are even also in English. The thing that made me interested in the game in the first place was that the character designer and artist of the game is Masakatsu Katsura. He's behind classic manga such as Video Girl, Z-Man and also DNA Squared. Can I just say I don't like the English way to pronounce those square numbers? I kinda wanted to explain the way Germans do it, but then I realized that nobody would care, so I won't. You might also know his designs from Vanserchan, Platinum Games' pretty fun action game for the Switch. Let's put that bit into the background for now though, since I'm gonna start talking about the actual game first, so I can tell you a bit about why I enjoy his works later on, when you can just close the video if you don't care about anything else except the game itself. You are a faceless dude who just wakes up one day and goes on a little walk and boom, aliens. We all had something like that happen to us once, right? To show what a great human you are, you try to protect a cute dog, I wish it would have been a cat instead, and as a reward for that, you actually get kidnapped by 3 girls who see what a kind person you are for saving a dog. So you better always do your best so the same thing can happen to you. Sacrifice yourself for the animals. Now, you become the new master of the girls and help them out to become stronger so they can destroy all of these aliens. All of this can be known by just playing the game and watching the cutscenes, but I wanted to know more about the aliens, so I tried to find out more. According to Wikipedia, the aliens are called germs, and eventually they just attacked Earth in the future and they had a fierce battle with the humans who had to create the cute ones, which are these 3 girls. They also found out that the germs are weak to human feelings like love, and that's why you kinda date the girls in the game because emotions make them stronger against the germs. Love trumps all, that's what they say, right? Not like I can actually confirm that, sadly. So these 3 girls traveled back in time because they did lose the battle in the future, but does that really matter when you can just try to rewrite it? No, it does not. I wish that could have been done in my own life. I still regret selling all my Game Boy Color games just so I can buy Mario Kart Wii at release because of my Wii clan. My biggest regret in life. Since that day I have never sold another game again. Now you have to control a mech and destroy huge monsters, sadly not a lot of them. It's an extremely short game that will maybe only take you like half an hour to play through. Obviously you're supposed to replay it a couple of times with a different girl, but even then, nothing truly changes. Still the same monsters that you fight and same storyline with a few extra scenes depending on the girl you chose. You could even kinda mistake this as a Neon Genesis Evangelion game because it would perfectly fit the structure of it. Before a mission, you're always allowed to pick the girl you want to take on a mission, and the game even tells you which one is the best for each enemy. You wouldn't cheat on your favorite girl though, right? Pick the girl you like the most. Not because she's the strongest. That's how it should be in life. Don't cheat. Like, you could just change the girls in this game with Shinji, Rei, and Asuka and boom, there you go, the perfect NGE game if you just replace the aliens in this game with the angels. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the inspiration for it. With the girls, you basically got the 3 main types of anime girl personalities covered. We got Vivi, she's the typical old school anime tsundere, and also my favorite because I like pink hair. Even though it's more red than pink in the actual game. You can already imagine how she's like, I don't really need you, I can do this totally on my own, Barker. But then when you work together and she sees your skills, she actually warms up to you. She's also pretty damn good at video games, so that's another plus. What more could you ask for? I like a girl that would just beat me up sometimes. Lulu is the typical kudere, a girl that doesn't really talk much and is hard to read because they don't really show their emotions. Unless they warm up to you, so you can see that true smile that will melt your heart and makes you die from how cute it is. Not my favorite personality type in anime, but that's just my opinion and many people always tell me that my opinions are pretty bad. I don't agree with that, but to each their own. The last girl is Kiki, and who could have guessed it? She also has a rather typical personality, which is the Genki girl of the party, always trying her best and being full of energy and happiness and clumsiness and all that. A girl who tries her best but feels like she's never good enough, which is a bit sad, so make her happy please. Then there's also the obligatory mascot called Egg, because he looks like an egg. I wish I could have been named like that. The controls are simple, you only need the sticks and 2 buttons, L2 for jumping and R2 for shooting, and sometimes R1 for changing your weapon. Left stick is for walking, right stick is for aiming, but it uses none of the face buttons because it doesn't need to, except for in menus, and playing Japanese games may confuse you at first on a PlayStation console, because for us the X button is the confirm button and the circle button is the back button, which is the other way around in Japan, at least it was back in the day. I think nowadays they changed that. Every girl also has a different mech, and they do change the way the game is played by quite a lot. Let's take Lulu's one first, because I already don't like her personality type, but I like her mech even less. Hers is more of a tanky, bulky kind of mech, the ones I enjoy the least. I want mine to be fast, cool, sleek, slender, not just a tank that became a mech, especially since hers can't even jump. What's the point of a mech if I can't float, fly, or even jump? Just use a normal tank at that point. Her first attack is a normal gun pretty much, her second attack shoots rockets, and the third one is a ray gun that makes you even slower, but it deals massive damage. You will barely hit moving enemies with it though, unless you try your best, which you wouldn't want to do since not having a jump also makes it extremely easy to get hit, and your only way to dodge with her is to walk around, but you can't walk around when you charge the ray gun, so basically it's just kinda useless. Kiki's mech is the complete opposite of it because it has the highest jump and she just goes whoosh. Imagine that thing jumping in front of you and landing on you. Or maybe don't, that would hurt. She has a normal gun, some kind of laser beam attack, and some rockets. For her I mostly just use the laser beam attack because it's pretty cool. Who doesn't love to shoot lasers? Every kid loves lasers, and at no point in life should you ever lose your passion for lasers. Vivi's mech is the coolest one because it's red. There's no cooler color for mechs than red, except for black. It's also fast, slender, cool, super duper cool, extremely cool, the coolest cool. It floats, it has swords that can cut through the enemy, it can throw plasma projectiles, it has a dash that messes up the enemy, but especially camera at points even more so. Because the camera in the game it has a lot to do, and let's just say, it's not the best camera, man. But it's not super duper bad either. It's okay. All of them also got a secret weapon that you only unlock at the final boss though, and with Vivi I accidentally activated it and it just one-shot the boss. When that happened I was like, wait, that's it? That's pretty damn anticlimactic, but when I played through the game with Kiki and got to the final boss I chose my secret weapon and nothing happened. So I just defeated him normally and then boom, second form and cooler attacks and destruction. I think based on me rewatching my footage, you just need to wait for the bar on the right side to load up fully and then just get close to the final boss to destroy him with the special weapon. Maybe the girls explained it to you, but since I don't understand Japanese that isn't just the usual phrases that you hear in anime, I wouldn't really know. If you press the L1 button, you even can talk to the girls during a mission, but again, I don't understand them. According to the wiki page, each one of them has 100 of those lines, and some even require you to do something like opening the lid on your PlayStation 1. What would you do if an anime girl in a game would tell you to open up the lid? I don't know if I should trust her. So, what about the dating aspect? Well, you get to talk to them after each mission with two choices, and depending on that you either get a better ending or not, and also different cutscenes. I have not managed to date a single one of them in the end. I know, that's kinda sad. After my first playthrough with Vivi, I just thought, hey, maybe someone wrote a guide on which options I should take to be able to date her or any of the other girls. I found a game facts guide where the person who wrote it also didn't exactly know what to pick here, I think. Look at how desperate they sound like. If you discover something, just send me an email, please. ... I hope someone did, even if the guide was written 24 years ago. That's 1/4 of a century. Crazy how time flies. I also tried using a program called Desk Translate on my PC to translate the lines, but you have to pick your option in like 5 seconds or else it just takes the one you were on. Thanks for that. So in the end, the dating part of the game was a total fail for me, just like in real life. So better learn Japanese if you want one of the endings where you actually end up with a girl and they just don't disappear. I looked also for a video where it shows all the cutscenes in the game, and sadly the only video that shows all of them is one of those ugly 4K upscale videos that make you think, nah, this is ugly as hell. The strongest part of the game for sure is its aesthetic. It looks really damn nice, at least to me, and also how everything just goes kaboom. Every building gets destroyed, the monsters are huge and have fairly cool designs, the mechs are mechy, the girls are pretty, the enemy scenes are full of fan service. Yay, who doesn't love the typical guy accidentally falls onto the girl and gets slapped scene? It was a staple back in the day after all. It is a nice experience, but sadly it just doesn't have enough content to really make you think it's an actual great game. It feels more like a prototype of something greater, of something that had potential to be something special, not just a fairly okay experience. I mean, it's also hard to really feel anything for the girls when you spend a whole minute with them. It wouldn't have hurt to implement a few more scenes where you are just talking to them, like in a visual novel. Draw them a few portraits and boom, now you can really learn more about them. If you speak Japanese. It feels like most of the budget just went into making the anime scenes and not the actual game. I really wish they would have added like 5 more missions. Some games are too bloated, but then you also have a game like this where it feels too short, and you would beg for even just a tiny bit more. Because when it really clicks, it's already over, and overall it's just also really simple, which isn't always bad. Sometimes you just want to blow stuff up without having to make your own mech out of millions of parts to min-max it. But hey, now it's finally the time for my little story about my life and why I enjoy the works of Masakatsu Katsura. His style always had this special something for me since it walks right between the line of being really anime but also having that realistic style to it, mostly when he draws standalone drawings. I grew up reading a German magazine called Banzai, which was basically the German Shonen Jump since it had a bunch of manga running in it, such as Hunter x Hunter, Naruto and some more, which included DNA Squared. It was the first time I came into contact with fan service, and when you're young you see butts and boobs and go, damn. But aside from that, it was also just a funny story in such a dumb way. A story about a guy who has to throw up if he gets too close to girls, except for his childhood friend because she's a tomboy, so he doesn't even really see her as a girl, but somehow in the future he turns into such a playboy and is the sole reason for the world's overpopulation, so a girl from the future now has to come back to the past with a time machine and try to stop it, but fails because she's pretty clumsy and now has to fix her mistake. Just the whole premise of it is just already pretty dumb, and I love dumb things. In general, the Banzai just showed me so much about anime and manga for such little money. Imagine being a kid and you want to read manga, but you have to spend 6 euros for a single volume, which isn't really that much when you're an adult, but if you got a monthly allowance of like 10 bucks, it's like, well, most of your money. With the Banzai, you got many manga with 2 chapters each every month for only 5 bucks. Reading DNA Squared in it made me feel like an adult, someone who is cool, because it had half-naked ladies and cool scenes and all that instead of just a dude trying to catch some animals and the other mostly typical anime on TV. It's like finding a Playboy magazine as a kiddo. It just had that special style for me as a kid, just like Katsura's style in general. He's not exactly the greatest storyteller, but it's just always fun reading his works just for the art style alone, especially for the drippy outfits or some of the sci-fi elements. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and will have a fun evening or morning or anything that fits your time zone. I'm gonna have to say bye now, but I also wanted to show you how nice the menu theme in the game is. The title screen may look pretty ugly, but when you start the game and hear this, you kinda get a bit mesmerized by it. With that said, bye bye.